Alright guys, today we are going to be taking a look at the figure standard Lacus Clyne from Gundam Seed. So this is the version that we gotten. We do not have like a Seed Destiny. I wish we would have got one from the Seed Destiny, but this one will do for the time being. So let's kind of take a look at this kit. So this is the front view of it, and then this is the back view. So a little bit more on the hair. So you guys can definitely see. I mean, the hair doesn't look too bad, right? I think it looks pretty good. So let's kind of examine a little bit more on the face, right? Because me personally, I am a pretty skeptical person as far as taking a look at these standardized circuit kits, because sometimes I feel like the face sculpture is not as good as how it is from the actual show or from the actual anime. But I think they definitely did a pretty good job as far as the face sculpture for Lacus over here, so definitely pretty satisfied. I think just the overall representation is definitely not too bad. Maybe with the exception of the skirts, I think they are definitely a little bit too bulky, right? Yeah, but I mean they're just following what was in the anime, right? But anyways, as far as the head wise, this is one of the face that I have attached on. This is the one that you have to use decals. So there's actually a decal for the eyebrows, one for the eyes, and then there's actually a really subtle pink blush. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is also a decal as well. So total of 6 to apply. So that was a headache. So if you guys do not like decals, this is gonna be a fun one to go through, but it's not that bad. I can kind of show you guys the other one as well before we do like the face swapping a bit. So this is the other one as well. So this is the one that we have to apply 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, because the one on the mouth is also that little kind of like upset mouth right there. That is also a decal as well. And this is the one that comes along with. So this is the one that you do not have to apply any decals, but as far as the pink blush, you also do have to apply decals on it, which I have not done yet. So I think you guys can definitely visibly see, you do not see that pink blush. But overall, I did use one of those decal setters to make it smooth in, because I did it for Mione and Celetta. They do not turn out that great. So I think whenever I have time, I am gonna redo their decals on their face. But let's actually give you guys or show you guys how the face swap looks like. So what you will do, you will remove this part, and then remove, what else do we need to remove? Yes, you take off the front parts of the hair, and then you will have to remove, I guess you can start out by removing these two sides of the hair, because they do kind of get in the way, right? So you can take them out as follow. Okay, this is a little bit stuttering, but you guys kind of get the idea. So we'll just kind of go proceed on with just swapping the face. Alright, so we just have to put back the hair as follows, and then we will just put on this front piece. It doesn't, I guess the better way to do it is to apply the actual face onto the kit first, and then we put in the actual hair. So voila, and we are done. So that's just one of the face you can swap back into, right? So not that bad. So now as far as the articulation, the head is kind of stiff, so I don't know if I can really show you guys how much you can move it, because first of all, you do have these two here that's kind of dangling around, so you can't really just move around, because you might just end up breaking it. So I'm gonna see if I can actually do something. So not really. You can, but it's really stiff, like I say. So yep, you do have that. Front and back, you do have a lot. Maybe you guys can see that. So it looks kind of weird in this angle, but you do have that movement right there. Coming down to the arms now. The arms can rotate 360 degrees, no problem. And you can swing up like so, just raising your hand and just coming it down. There is no movement where you can just rotate as follows, not like the other one, so there are no movement at all. But if you come down to the lower arms, you can rotate right here. So it looks weird, but you can do that. Bent wise, you do have that much, so like a little bit more than 90 degrees, so pretty good. The hands are going to be on a ball joint, so they're just gonna go as follow. Onto the waist section, there are a lot, not a lot actually, just a few. And then as far as the legs, right now you can't really move a lot because obviously you do have this big skirt. So what we actually do, we can actually remove the skirt. They are instructions that you can display it either or with this skirt or without the skirt, so I can show you guys that as well. Then we can I guess move a little bit further onto the leg articulation. So taking out the skirt is really simple. We first pop out the torso and then we can just lower this whole skirt. So it's like just like a big plastic piece up, so it's a little bit soft, so you can kind of just bend it, right? No problem. But after removing the skirt, it actually looks a little bit weird with her mini skirt. I don't know, it just looks a little bit odd to me, I feel like. But moving on to the legs articulation, you can just pull it backward like this. There are definitely some limitations because of the skirt, but backwards just not that much actually. Kind of surprised. There is a movement from this section of it, so you can rotate, but does look weird, right? And bend wise, you can go not bad. You can say almost a good 180, pretty good. Now coming down to the actual feet themselves, you can rotate for posability, right? And they can move back as well, so that's a lot. But other than that, that's pretty much the articulation. So it's really limited when you do have the skirt on. But after you remove the skirt, I mean, like, I don't know if I call this like good. I just feel like the mini skirt makes it not as impressive in a way. I don't know. I just have a odd feeling about this. But let me see if we can actually make her stand correctly now. All right, we got it. Now on to the accessories. She comes with a few accessories, so let's kind of start out with the two horrors. So there are two horrors that you can actually pick from. There is the one with the ears just kind of flopping, and then you have the one that's close to swallow. And then we have some other hands that we can swap into, so they are just more for posability. I can just kind of show you guys how they looks like. So we have one that kind of goes together. It's kind of like her praying. I think it's these two, which we can just, I guess for demonstration, pop them on. So this is the one in the box art where she was doing something like this. Whoops, I popped that off. That it's not supposed to happen. Alright, so now we have these two kind of swapping. So as far as how we had it in the box art, she was doing something like this. If I can get it, if I can get them to cooperate, I think something of this nature, just like this. Her praying, right? We got that. That's one of it. And then the other one is for her to hold the horror. Now we swap into the one where she kind of holds her horror. So let's actually pick the one, just one of it, and then see how it looks like. So we're gonna pick this one, and then it should work. Yep, that looks pretty good. There's not necessarily a peg you can peg in the horror into the hand, but I think overall it looks pretty good. So for size comparison, I'm gonna bring in Mione right here. So Mione is actually a lot more shorter. I was definitely not expecting that. And then we have a Soletta. So these are the other two figure standard that I have built thus far. So Lacus is by far the more tall one. So was I expecting that? I was definitely not, I would definitely say. But yeah, these are the two other size comparison for you guys. So here's just going to be my quick conclusion for the figure standard Lacus Clyne. I think overall I'm really impressed about just her whole model kit itself. They definitely did a great job into capturing her essence. The only thing I don't really like is just the legs. I just don't like the design of them. I just wish that we would have gotten the one for Soletta and Mione. Those are, I think, a little bit more perfect in my opinion. And then those skirts, I mean, like, they just don't look too natural to me. So that's my only complaint. But other than that, definitely do get it, because right now the Gundam Seed Freedom running wild. We don't really have like a more updated version of Lacus and a more better representation. So I think right now the figure standard definitely did its job, right? Definitely one of the best one out there. Other than that, that's gonna be pretty much it, and I'll be catching you guys up on the next one.